Sleep is without a doubt the strongest status condition in competitive Pokemon, as it can completely shut down an opposing Pokemon for at least one full turn, effectively turning the matchup into a temporary 5v6 scenario. In smogon competitive singles, sleep has always been somewhat balanced out by the sleep clause, which prevents you from putting multiple opposing Pokemon to sleep at the same time. However, in Gen 9, the sleep clause has proven to not be enough to keep sleep in check, and has thus been banned as a whole, which hasn't happened since Gen 5. So why did sleep get banned, and how will this impact the Gen 9 overuse meta? Let's discuss. Sup y'all, so sleep moves just got banned from Gen 9 OU. There was already a discussion about it that it might end up getting banned, and it just did. Want to talk about the Pokemon that it will affect, but also we got a post from the OU Council, which you can see right here. Want to go over this as well. We're gonna start off with this. I'm not gonna throw all of it, but I'll quickly glance over it. So after a long discussion on the subforum and the policy review subforum here, moves that strictly induce the sleep status on the opponent will be banned from Scarlet and Violet OU, and the sleep clause mod will be removed from the format effective immediately. So this is about the following moves: Dark Void, Hypnosis, Lovely Kiss, Sing, Sleep Power, Spore, Yawn, basically any move that directly puts your opponent to sleep. However, some moves remain allowed, like Dire Claw, Relic Song, and Rest. Rest was never affected by the sleep clause anyway, because you put yourself to sleep. A Relic Song is Meloetta's signature move, but no one uses Meloetta because it's ass. Dire Claw, this is a sneak diss to Sneasler, because that Pokemon ain't even allowed in the tier to begin with. So Sneasel doesn't have Dire Claw, right? So weird to put that there, but okay. Effect Spore also remains legal, as it does not strictly induce the sleep status on the opponent. I don't think there's any Pokemon out there that actually uses this ability, because Pokemon that do have that ability have a better ability, like Amoonguss has Regenerator, Breloom has Poison Heal, and Technician. So no Pokemon is actually using that ability. So to provide clarity on the process, recently had a community survey and included a question on sleep moves due to ongoing discussions on the topic. From our qualified player base, it received a 3.7 out of 5 score, which indicates a large amount of support for team reaction. Given this support, we conducted a council vote to ban sleep moves or suspect or do not act. Well, 7 of the members voted for ban, 2 voted for suspect, and no action. We got 1 vote for that. So sleep moves have now been banned from the Gen 9 overuse tier. So of course, the sleep ban is gonna have some massive meta implications. Maybe it was too far to ban the whole mechanic, maybe not. Frankly, I don't care, if I'm being honest. I don't like getting my Pokemon put to sleep. Less luck-based mechanics there, the better for me. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would ban Freeze too. That's just my opinion. Maybe potentially critical hits as well, but I wouldn't go that far yet. But Freeze though, that gotta go. That gotta go. Anyway, obviously the main users we really have seen being problematic with sleep were Hypnosis, Darkrai. That was like the main Pokemon, the new guy on the block that made this mechanic very problematic. A very common set was a focus sash lead set with Hypnosis, 3 attacks, or maybe 2 attacks with also a thank you game, with Nasty Plot. So you can set up as well. Maybe you have your Dark Pulse, your Focus Blast, maybe you put Ice Beam here. You got some great coverage, right? Other Pokemon that we're using was Iron Valiant, which just use it on Calm Mind sets, as well as Sword Stance sets to basically put any check to it to sleep, get some free setup, and now break through the whole team. Boom, boom, game over. Now for these 2 Pokemon specifically, it's not gonna change their viability. They're already great without sleep. Sleep was not necessary to get some value out of these Pokemon. It was just another great way to get even more value out of them. However, these Pokemon are still gonna be just fine without sleep. Right here, I got a Gen 9 overuse game I played not too long ago, And this shows exactly why sleep is problematic on a Pokemon like Darkrai, for example. So I lead off with the Focus Sash Darkrai, put the Heatran to sleep, missed the Focus Blast, but hey, it is what it is. This was a 3-attack Darkrai, by the way. But, you know, I chipped down the Heatran with my bad dreams, and it stays asleep for 3 turns, which is unfortunate. So I KO the Heatran, he sends out Primarina. I also put that to sleep. And I also KO the Primarina because he still stays asleep, and he left. Because I'm basically up 6-4, right? This can show you how powerful sleep can be when it is in your favor. And this is exactly one of basically the main reason why it got banned, right? Because you have a fast offensive threat. There's literally nothing he could do. He could have switched in one of his other Pokemon, but he still would taken like some massive damage, right? Now this Pokemon though, I mean, let's be real. This is never, ever. I ain't talking about Kanye. Never ever returning to OU. I don't think we have to discuss about that. I know some stall teams have opted to go with Toxic instead of Spore if they're using Among Us, but it's just not the same. Not the same. Spore was a massive part of Among Us's utility it provided to a team. Now it doesn't have that anymore. Now another Pokemon I want to talk about, Torkoal. I mean, Torkoal is a Sunsetter, it's not really known to put something to sleep, but it had Yawn as a nice sleeping move, nice utility move, which it cannot use anymore. So yeah, it's a nerf, but it's not gonna change the viability a whole lot. Other Pokemon you may think about are Sun abusers, like Venusaur. On the Sun it can use fast sleep powders as well, and set up with growth or do some great damage with its powerful stab moves. So those are Pokemon. It hurts their viability a little bit, but it's not gonna change them a lot. I will say though, Breloom, the niche it did have with like Focus Sash Spore, for example, also gone, doesn't exist anymore. If you want to go use Breloom, I think Choice Band is probably the only way to go right now. Darkrai and Valiant were really, in my opinion, the most problematic Pokemon with sleep, because they are fast offensive threats. Because they move first in most cases, put you to sleep, there's nothing you can do, they set up, you die, they can put another Pokemon to sleep again, and that cycle can continue the whole match, right? And effectively, or technically, they could win the whole match just by doing that. So yeah, that's a little video about the sleep bans. Let me know your opinion down below. Do you think the sleep bans, or the sleep ban, I should say, was a little too far? Do you think maybe Hypnosis should have been banned instead? And do you think maybe other luck-based mechanics should be potentially looked at as well? I said freeze. I still think that's a bullshit mechanic since Gen 1, but hey, I think there are actually certain tiers that have a freeze clause, but I might be mistaken on that. No, let me know down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.